the exquisite beauty of her, she entered the Bhikkhuni Sasana as a Buddhist nun. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Theruvan Saranai, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about a beautiful story about a remarkable nun illuminated the Sambuddha Sasana. Her name is Subhatheri. She's a rare beauty and could captivate anyone's heart. No one could pass her by without halting to have a glimpse of her gorgeousness. Not only that, she was renowned in the Sambuddha Sasana for her great character, unshakable conduct, and compassion. She's a meritorious nun who could listen to a profound teaching of the Lord Buddha and renunciated. And then she entered the Bhikkhuni Sasana as a Buddhist nun. One day, as she was walking in the delightful and serene mango grove of Jivaka, the skies were clear and the gentle breeze blew, carrying the ambrosial fragrance of the ripe fruits. And as she walked, she assimilated and reflected on Dhamma. And she was glowing with joy because she could experience the freedom of Nibbana, the freedom of the mind. All of a sudden, a man bumped into her. A drunken, handsome libertine, a son of a goldsmith, a son of a wealthy goldsmith, who is in the prime of youth, tried to block her path. This man was awestruck by the beauty. Then Venerable Subhatheri looked up and glanced at him. In a very clear and serene and calm tone, she said, "Why are you blocking my way? What have I done wrong? Please let me go. It's not proper that a man fancying to touch a woman who has gone forth. I'm pure without blemish, so please let me go, my friend," she said. And then this man replied saying, "Oh, beautiful lady, why have you gone forth? You're a mesmerizing beauty. Don't do it. Let's throw off your robe and let's delight in the flowering grove," he said. This man was blinded by ignorance and attachment. He didn't understand who she was. He tried to lure her, tell all sorts of things to convince her, to persuade her, but she was unshakable. It didn't make the blindest bit of difference in her. Then he knew it's not going to work, so he tried to persuade her in a different way. He said, "There are wild beasts in this forest and it's not safe to be alone, especially a woman like you. Let's come with me," he said. And then he made all sorts of proposals to her. "I'll give you all the luxury and sensual pleasures. I will give you servants, ornaments, any gift, clothes, palace, whatever you need. I will give you everything. Just be with me. Be my wife. I will give you whatever you want," he said. And then Venerable Subhatheri thought, "This man does not understand her situation. So it's better to preach Dhamma to him. So she started preaching Dhamma. She explained and shared the perception she had towards life and the world, towards the body. She said the body is made out of flesh, bones and blood. You won't be able to find the sensual pleasure in that. It's all worthless, essenceless. The pleasure you seek is not there. It's just a fabrication, she said. But this man was intoxicated and deaf to the truth. He didn't get this message at all. So what did he do? He tried to convince her further. He started singing praises about her beauty. Your eyes are so beautiful, like a doe. Your eyes, your long lashes are mesmerizingly beautiful. Your eyes are like tips of water lily, tips of blue lilies. I can't forget them. I want them to be with me all the time. He confessed, and then she tried to convince him. Again, out of compassion, with utmost compassion, she started to preach again. She said, "You're an ignorant child. You're asking for the moon as a plaything. But you can't have it. I don't even know what is sensual pleasure anymore. When I received Dhamma, I practiced the path, and the sensual pleasures are being killed inside of me. I don't experience it at all." Then she tried to explain further, but it was worthless. It was worthless. He couldn't comprehend the profound words she uttered. And then she didn't give up. She's a great lady who had a great compassion towards all living beings. Even though he was a complete stranger, she wanted to help him. So she explained about the eye, the structure of the eye. And then she said, the eye is made out of sealing wax and satin, a hollow with bubble in the middle, bathed in the tears, she explained. Dear children, can you imagine what she did next? You won't believe your eyes when you hear, believe your ears when you hear this. The great and utmost compassion she had towards this man. She pulled out her eye and handed it over to him. Just imagine what she did. No doctors, no anesthetic, no operation. It was all raw. She plucked the eye and handed it over to him. I want you to think of the courage and the commitment and the compassion she had towards this man. Let me ask you a question. Can you do that to a person or to a complete stranger? Can you ever think of doing something like that to somebody? I don't think so. Not even for those who we love. It's impossible, isn't it? But she did that. She was a courageous woman. Why did she do that? Can you tell me why did she do? It's out of compassion she did it. She knew if she didn't do something about it, this man will get into great trouble, because the intention he had towards this nun was not good. He made inappropriate advances towards her. She's a renunciant, so it's a great sin. If he went further, he had to commit a great sin. In order to prevent that, She wanted to help him, to stop the pain he had to endure in the future. That's why she did it. So, she pulled out her eye and handed it over to this man. And what did this man do? He was shocked. He couldn't believe his eyes. His passion withered away at that very moment. And then he got into his knees and begged for forgiveness. There he understood the serious act he was about to commit. And then he asked for forgiveness and never returned. And then Venerable Subhatheri went straight to the Lord Buddha. She went to see Lord Buddha. And then when she saw him, her eye became whole again. And then the Lord Buddha preached a profound teaching to her. And the other great thing is, at that moment, she wasn't an arhat. She was just a non-returner. Even though she was a non-returner, she could commit such an act. And then after this profound teaching of the Lord Buddha, she became an arhat and she ended the suffering forever. She stopped the samsara forever. So my dear children, this is the story of Venerable Subhatheri. I hope you can learn a lot of valuable lessons from this story, isn't it? What did you learn from this? The main message she could give us is the utmost compassion and loving kindness she had towards all living beings. If you want to be a daughter of the Lord Buddha, this is the path that we have to follow. If you want to become a daughter of the Lord Buddha, you have to be like her. You have to have that compassion and loving kindness in your heart. You have to bear the whole world in your heart. She did it. Let's say you can show compassion and loving kindness to those who love you, those who are friends with you. But can you do it to those who are cross with you, who are not friends anymore, maybe enemies? And to be honest, dear children, if you want to be in this path, you can never have enemies. You should feel everyone as your child, to love them unconditionally, to protect them, care for them. That's what you should be doing. That's what we should be doing as daughters of the Lord Buddha. So I want you to think about this. Just think whether you can practice this, whether you can make her your role model. And the next great lesson that we can learn is, she was unshakable. Even though this man tried to utter numerous things to convince her, to persuade her to be with him, she was unshakable. How come she became unshakable? It's none other way. She has realized the Dhamma. She knew the path. She knew what the teachings are about. She understood the Lord Buddha's teaching. So that realization made her act like that. So if you want to become like her, if you want to find the truth, if you want to achieve the ultimate bliss, then you have to practice the path. You have to comprehend on Dhamma. So there are great two lessons that we can take from this story. I want you to be like her. Be kind, be generous, be helpful. Have a great heart filled with love and compassion. And don't stop there. Practice the path. When you practice the path, your metta grows, your great virtues grow. Then you can become a great lady, a daughter of the Lord Buddha. So my dear children, let's strive hard. Let's practice the path. Let's be like Venerable Subhadevi. May the Noble Triple Gem be with you all.